The title of this poem is If You Can't Leave Me Be, Then Leave Me Alone. Which I actually said this to somebody. And I thought, oh my God, I become a character from Ryan's Hope. You know, it's what on earth am I saying this to a human being for? Anyways, if you can't leave me be, then leave me alone. Kindness compels me to tell you I like your haircut. Now your head answers the question, what if Lady Gaga cut her own hair? And what if Lady Gaga was legally blind? Most days, I've been busy at the print shop. I still have that strange thing at my elbow. Are you still working on your stories? You know, the ones with the sour mothers being all sour? I apologize for the way the sun comes into my study. I'm not sure why, but I do. It's my sincere hope that you now have a puddle named after you, and that you still chew quietly. A mug clang and old days e-hugs for the memories of that gyro stand, right? Oh, the things we said about our friends behind their backs, behind their stupid, gap-clad backs. Bury me beneath the willow, but throw out my DVD collection, it's useless. I tell my students, Gertrude Stein did not just wake up knowing how to punch a zebra. You have to be dedicated to the craft. First, you have to know how to punch a horse. Likewise, I just wanted to move to Texas, and installing a ranch dressing pump in my kitchen was my inauspicious start. 2 more years of teaching classes and I was done. When I announced my intention to my friends that I was leaving, they carefully inquired into just about how to go about applying for my job. I just said, you should ask Jason. Jason from the English department? No, Jason Seaver, the dad from Growing Pains. He's actually a real person, you know. He's advising me to be a better friend to Boner. You're now talking to the Sleepy's Mattress Employee of the Month. A new study suggests affirmation chants, i.e., I can be loved, are not very effective. In fact, they can cause more of a reverse effect. Let's say you're about to be evicted from your already earwig-infested room. You have red spots on the back of your legs. Your nickname is Lancelot Loser. Let's say your only prized possession is a souvenir glass from Hoboken, and your ex has just published a poem titled, I Know the Definition of Small. Chanting, I can be loved, will only highlight your difficulties. A more thoughtful gesture would be a toupee. You can wear a rug. You can wear a rug. Song of the Hummingbird. When you get older, you hear the word lance more often as a verb than as a noun. You may be okay because you did something, but sad because you know God has the last lance. It was sad, like those episodes of Will and Grace where the actors act. Or that time I thought a Perry Ellis golf shirt would somehow make me look less bosomy. I've quietly darted from bush to bush. I've written exacting, insulting letters, which I thought were unimpeachable. Who knew the word blousy could hurt so much? Hummingbirds do not live to be 50, nor do they edit e-magazines. Their lance-shaped beaks pierce the honeysuckle, and the honeysuckle blooms coral bright. I've already lived my life. Before the iPhone came, we lived like pigs. barely able to resist fratricide. I'm honestly amazed I survived before, with all that listening to people. When the flood of favorite apps came to me, I let the flow take me to where it wanted. I could be anywhere, looking at pictures of drunk people on the internet. I could see the friend at the masquerade and how some HuffPost thing was liked 12 times, and I could listen to that message, you know, the one from the taxi with all laughing in the back. Best of all, I could set the temperature to Fahrenheit and pretend to be normal. I hold my iPhone to my chest to pray for the thousands of texts I've deleted. Death be not proud, but really, who could blame you? I mean, come on, you're death. I hope I don't die of kidney disease, but I have eaten a cookie the size of a cake. So I won't feign surprise about my possible fate. I hope I don't die of liver disease, but I have seen East Delaware City and Pittsburgh in my drunkest winter. What more could I possibly expect from life? Here's to the beers, not to the ones shared with friends, but the ones downed in Mexican bathrooms, or raised high in naval cemeteries, or chugged alongside the Suez Canal. To the beers during our business meetings, the ones while attending vernissages, private christenings, and dance recitals. As if one could kill the pain of dance recitals. More novel ideas. In the course of working on my novel, I lost 3 jobs, soured countless friendships, faked 2 heart attacks, lost 6 cell phones, and ate each bite of a 72-ounce steak. I don't regret my very best achievements in life. That time I referred to Northrop Frye as dude. Convincing a pretty girl in Cleveland that my actual name was the Duke of Earl. I do, however, regret writing fiction. Tom went to the fridge and took out the eggs. I mean, who cares? Smash those eggs, Tom. Do something besides move to Burnaby. My nights of 1,000 lesser Gatsbys. The Sun also blames George W. Bush. Writing to live everyone's literary dream. To live under a pseudonym in Greece. I'll finish with one last piece. It's a poem about my mother, and when my mom was not like formally educated, but she knew a lot of poems by heart. You know, she had sort of like a Victorian schoolgirl's education, and she would always say like, "Oh, what's this poem?" and she would recite something, and she would do it a lot, and it was like a lot of times it was like Longfellow, even though she always said she hated Longfellow, but it was always like, "What was that poem?" And so this poem is called "What Was That Poem?" My mother asked me, "What was that poem?" It was Longfellow's Lost Youth, I think. The answer was Longfellow often enough, even though she really hated Evangeline. I talked to my mother on my cell phone outside a grocery store in Philadelphia. She asked me what I was buying. Was it dear? She asked, meaning, was it inexpensive? And she asked me if I now like football more than I like baseball. It was the last conversation I ever had with her. I told her at the time that I liked baseball, just to make her happy. But I knew she wasn't calling to talk sports. She was showing off. She was saying to me, "I'm going to be okay." "What was that poem?" she'd say, and act surprised when I didn't know. It wasn't about the answer. It was about noticing something small and held on to, with wit and ferocity, until the day is done. Thank you very much.